Stop everything and internalize this chilling reality. You don't need external enemies when your own mouth is tirelessly working against you. Right now, someone is meticulously using your own past words as the blueprint for your present downfall. They are sitting in a room, calculating their leverage with sentences you spoke months ago. That careless joke you made? It is being weaponized as evidence against you. That deep secret you shared in a moment of assumed trust. It is now invaluable leverage in their hands. That single moment of weakness you confessed, it has become their clearest path to victory. You operate under the dangerous, self-soothing delusion that your words simply dissipate into thin air. You believe people automatically forget what you say. You assume your casual conversations are a safe space. This is the single most dangerous delusion of modern life. Every empire has crumbled because someone spoke too much. Every powerful leader has fallen because of words they desperately wish they could retract. Every trust has died because of a loose tongue. The ancient masters of power understood a principle that we have dangerously forgotten. Your mouth is your primary, most dangerous enemy. It is the gateway that reveals your deepest secrets, exposes your strategic weaknesses, and hands your adversaries exactly what they require to neutralize you. Niccolo Machiavelli spent his life surgically dissecting the mechanics of power. He discovered the ultimate non-negotiable truth. Those who master the control of their words seize control of their destiny. Those who fail to master their voice inevitably become victims of their own words. In the minutes ahead, you will discover 10 critical psychological traps, high-risk situations that systematically turn your mouth into your own executioner. These are not rare events. These situations occur to everyone daily, but only the wise recognize them and choose silence before it is too late. The time for careless conversation is over. Drop this affirmation in the comments and commit to the discipline. I speak only to win. My words are my weapons. Number 1. Anger's betrayal. Anger is not merely an emotion. It is a truth serum. The moment fury seizes control, your mind instantly disables its internal security system, and your mouth transforms into a reckless confession booth. Every grievance you have silently endured, every deep resentment you have carefully hidden, and every dark thought you have meticulously suppressed, all of it comes pouring out like potent poison. The individual who skillfully triggered your anger is not your adversary in that moment. They are your interrogator. They have just successfully discovered the most efficient route to extract your deepest truths. While you are consumed by the satisfying feeling of righteous rage, they are clinically collecting intelligence about who you truly are beneath your composed mask. Rage is the architect of predictability. Once an adversary knows precisely what combination of words or actions makes you explode, they possess the remote control to your composure. They can trigger your fury whenever they need you to reveal a critical detail, force a catastrophic mistake, or immediately destroy your hard-won professional credibility. Your anger is instantly transformed into their most effective tool. The most critical danger isn't even what you say. It is who hears it. Your temporary, fleeting loss of control becomes their permanent, unshakable evidence against your character. Machiavelli defined the necessary hierarchy of power. He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. Command begins and ends with mastering the command of your own self. If you cannot control your own mouth when consumed by anger, you will never control any other element of your life that truly matters. Your rage is not an expression of strength. It is psychological weakness wearing the mask of self-justification. The truly powerful feel anger acutely, but they never display it externally. They process fury privately and respond strategically only when the fire has cooled. They fundamentally understand that today's emotional explosion automatically becomes tomorrow's ammunition for their enemies. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My anger serves me. I command my fire. Number 2. Ego's recklessness. You don't need enemies when your own mouth is working against you. This trap catches even the most brilliant minds. Success is a powerful intoxicant, far worse than alcohol. When you are winning, your ego screams, demanding public recognition. You crave applause for your brilliance and fiercely desire credit for your strategy. You need everyone to know precisely how clever and effective you have been. This profound need for external validation destroys more winners than failure ever could. Every explanation of your success that you offer is a free tutorial for your competitors. Every enthusiastic revelation of your secret strategy is a detailed roadmap for those who are planning your downfall. Every meticulous detail you share about your methods immediately becomes a blueprint for your replacement. The hunger for public recognition is a trap because it transforms you from a formidable, mysterious winner into a transparent, predictable loser with every word you speak. Your competitors are not celebrating your success. They are methodically studying it. They are not impressed by your achievement. They are diligently reverse engineering your methods. They are not your audience. They are your future opposition, whom you have armed with your own intelligence. Machiavelli warned against this fatal lapse in strategic self-interest. A wise ruler ought never to keep faith when, by doing so, it would be against his interests. Sharing the intricate details of your success story feels like keeping faith with those who supported you, but it is unequivocally against your long-term interests to educate your adversaries. Your loyalty must be to your future victories, not to your past supporters' curiosity. True masters celebrate their victories internally and only speak externally when silence itself would generate more strategic problems than revelation. They fundamentally understand that mystery maintains power while explanation destroys it. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Victory speaks silently. I hoard my strategy. Number 3. Alcohol's interrogation. Alcohol is not merely a social lubricant, it is a truth serum. It does not invent new thoughts, it surgically removes the mental security system that keeps dangerous, costly thoughts hidden. Every drink you consume weakens your psychological defenses. Every glass lowers your inhibitions. Every bottle transforms you from a self-controlled agent into a willing intelligence asset for anyone shrewd enough to remain sober and observant. The most valuable secrets are often extracted not through confrontation, but through calculated hospitality and wine. Under the influence, people confess their vulnerabilities, reveal their true strategies, admit profound fears, and expose critical plans when their inhibitions dissolve. What might take a strategist years to learn through careful observation can be discovered in one careless, drunken evening. Professional manipulators are masters of this liquid interrogation. They create comfortable, relaxed environments, provide continuous drinks, and ask seemingly innocent, probing questions while their targets become progressively more talkative and reckless. They meticulously remember every word while you conveniently forget everything. Your drunk confessions automatically become sober consequences. That admission about your business struggles is transformed into lethal intelligence for competitors. That moment of honesty about your personal life becomes exploitable evidence in divorce proceedings. Machiavelli, who valued the strategic necessity of maintaining control and authority, said, "Therefore, a prince, so long as he keeps his subjects united and loyal, ought not to mind the reproach of cruelty." You must apply this principle to your own internal discipline. Be cruel to your own impulses when alcohol flows. Your temporary, fleeting desire to emotionally connect and confess will result in permanent strategic damage to your standing. The momentary pleasure of sharing secrets creates the lasting pain of being exposed. The wise individual drinks strategically or not at all, understanding that in a world where everyone carries recording devices, Every intoxicated word instantly becomes recorded evidence. They choose unshakable clarity over fragile, temporary connection when the strategic stakes are high. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Clarity is my power. My defenses are absolute. Number 4. Stress as self-sabotage. You don't need enemies when your own mouth is working against you. Pressure is the ultimate psychological truth serum. When stress mounts, deadlines loom, and expectations intensify, the carefully constructed civilized mask abruptly slips away. What emerges is often weak, frantic, and perfectly exploitable by those who understand the raw mechanisms of human psychology. Stress systematically creates desperation, and desperation always creates confession. Under duress, people will admit they are unqualified, reveal their struggles, and confess they are failing. They believe they are seeking support. They are, in fact, providing their enemies with precise, targeting intelligence. The most dangerous stress confessions occur in seemingly safe circles. You confide in family about your financial struggles, reveal deep relationship problems to friends, and share your professional inadequacies with colleagues. Each confession creates a vulnerability that can be ruthlessly weaponized against you later. Your breaking point is not a moment of sudden authenticity. It is a moment of calculated exploitation. While you are frantically focused on relieving immediate pressure, your strategic adversaries are focused on how to apply that pressure to their advantage. Machiavelli set the standard for leadership presence. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. When you break under pressure, you inspire neither fear nor love. You inspire contempt. People instantly lose respect for those who cannot handle professional stress with composure. Your temporary moment of weakness becomes their permanent, damning assessment of your capabilities. Pressure is not your enemy. Your uncontrolled response to pressure is. Master your response, and pressure transforms into a tool for eliminating weak competitors who instantly reveal themselves under stress. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Pressure builds diamonds. My composure is absolute. Number 5. The savior trap. Professional manipulators rarely launch a direct attack. Instead, they execute the sympathy extraction by deploying a calculated vulnerability. They share meticulously crafted narratives of personal struggle, reveal strategic, soft weaknesses, and position themselves as the desperate, vulnerable victim. Their goal is to make you feel like their essential savior. While you are consumed by the feeling of being important and profoundly needed, they are clinically extracting every piece of valuable information you possess. This trap functions because it precisely reverses the power dynamic. Instead of sensing a threat and guarding your resources, you feel protective and compelled to share information to help. Instead of maintaining strategic distance, you willingly create a false intimacy that can be ruthlessly exploited later. Real, authentic vulnerability is complex, messy, and hard-earned. Performed vulnerability is polished, precise, and highly purposeful. The individual who presents the perfect, heart-wrenching sob story is often the most dangerous psychological predator in the room. Your misplaced compassion becomes their competitive advantage. Every secret you share in an act of misguided solidarity becomes actionable intelligence they use against you. Every weakness you reveal becomes pre-stocked ammunition for future attacks. Machiavelli, recognizing this profound human susceptibility, issued the stark warning: men are so simple of mind and so much dominated by their immediate needs that a deceitful person will always find plenty who are ready to be deceived. Your immediate, primal need to help and emotionally connect makes you tragically vulnerable to this form of deception. While you are focused on the comfort of being a good person, they are focused on the strategic efficacy of being a successful manipulator. Your kindness is transformed into their most effective weapon. True strength helps others without ever revealing its own vulnerabilities. It supports without sharing secrets. It shows compassion while fiercely protecting its own structural integrity. You must master this balance, or immediately become prey to those who have already mastered you. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I help without revealing. My compassion is shielded. Number 6. Gossip's transaction. You don't need enemies when your own mouth is working against you. Social groups, whether a casual friend circle or a complex corporation, operate on a rigid, unspoken system of information currency. Every secret shared, every opinion carelessly revealed, and every confidence you break instantly acquires measurable value in this social marketplace. When you participate in gossip, you are not simply passing time, you are trading strategic intelligence, and most people are catastrophic negotiators. The dark rules of this gossip economy are simple. Information flows upward to power, and the consequence of betrayal flows downward to weakness. The individual who meticulously collects secrets without ever sharing their own accumulates silent power, while the one who freely distributes information without collecting anything valuable in return quickly renders himself powerless. Every community has its information brokers. These individuals appear trustworthy, connected, and genuinely interested, but they are, in fact, running sophisticated intelligence operations where your secrets are the product and your trust is the transaction cost. The most devastating aspect of gossip is not the damage you inflict on others. It is what it instantly reveals about you. Every secret you share proves you cannot be trusted with sensitive data. Every confidence you break advertises your profound unreliability. Every piece of gossip you spread becomes irrefutable evidence of your toxic character. Machiavelli warned against this failure to distinguish reality from fantasy. The way men live is so far removed from the way they ought to live that anyone who abandons what is for what should be pursues his downfall rather than his preservation. You believe gossip ought to be harmless social bonding. The brutal reality is information warfare, where your secrets are being commodified. While you focus on what should be, others exploit what actually is, a highly functional marketplace for intelligence. Master this economy by becoming a collector rather than a distributor. Listen to everything, contribute nothing strategically valuable, and watch as others systematically destroy their own positions with loose tongues. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Secrets flow to me. I am the vault. Number 7. The authority challenge. When power challenges you unfairly. When a superior questions your competence, dismisses your idea, or targets you with criticism. Every primal instinct screams for immediate justice. You feel an overwhelming urge to defend yourself, prove your worth, and demonstrate your meticulously built competence. This instinct is a trap, a lethal psychological snare designed to destroy careers, relationships, and reputations. Authority is not looking for your detailed emotional explanations. It is testing your composure and demanding strategic submission. Most challenges launched from a position of authority are precisely that. Tests disguised as conflicts. They are engineered to reveal whether you possess the structural integrity to handle pressure, absorb unfair criticism, and maintain unflinching professionalism when you feel targeted. When you respond with emotional defensiveness, you automatically fail the test and confirm their initial, lowest assessment of your limitations. The external fairness you desperately demand does not exist in power structures. The respect you expect must be earned and enforced through verifiable results, not weakly demanded through argumentative rhetoric. The understanding you seek will never be granted by challenging the very individuals who hold your future in their hands. Your defense, in this scenario, becomes your prosecution. Every word you utter to justify yourself becomes evidence of your inability to accept necessary responsibility. Every argument you launch proves you lack the strategic wisdom to recognize when silence serves you infinitely better than speech. Machiavelli defined the necessary schism between morality and strategy. Politics have no relation to morals. The moral outrage you feel about unfair treatment is strategically irrelevant to your professional success. Power operates by different laws than justice. Your choice is simple: adapt to these ruthless rules or become their victim. The truly strategic response to an authority challenge is not confrontation, but strategic compliance followed by undeniable, exceptional performance. You prove your worth through the magnitude of your results, not the volume of your rhetoric. You internalize that today's unfair criticism can and must be transformed into tomorrow's opportunity, provided you handle the current moment with perfect control. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Results prove everything. My composure is my defense. Number 8. The revenge zone. When a relationship or critical partnership ends through betrayal, you are left holding a volatile asset: nuclear intelligence. You possess their deepest secrets, their professional failures, their financial vulnerabilities, and their most profound fears. The intense, immediate temptation to weaponize this information, to release it as an act of justified retribution, feels like absolute justice. But here is the critical strategic truth. Revenge through revelation is a suicide strategy that will ultimately destroy you more profoundly than your target. Every relationship is a two-way exchange of intelligence. You know their vulnerabilities, and critically, they know yours. When you initiate an attack by revealing their secrets, you are not merely attacking them in the moment. You are broadcasting to all future partners, employers, and allies that you are a dangerous liability, a person who weaponizes private, confidential information. Your act of temporary revenge instantly becomes a long-term warning about your own character. The destruction of reputation, the most devastating cost of revenge revelation, is not the immediate damage inflicted on your target. It is the long-term destruction of your own reputation. Everyone observing learns that you are willing to betray confidences when emotionally hurt. Your credibility in any future high-stakes situation immediately becomes worthless. Machiavelli advised strategic efficiency in consequence. Severities should be dealt out all at once so that their suddenness may give less offense. Benefits ought to be handed out drop by drop so that they may be relished the more. Applying this, if you must seek consequence, do it through immediate, decisive actions that cannot be traced back to revealed confidences. Maintain your unblemished reputation for discretion while finding strategic, silent ways to settle the score. Your continued silence preserves your power, your most valuable asset, for future, necessary battles. Professional power players handle betrayal with strategic silence. They preserve secrets as future leverage rather than foolishly spending them for immediate, fleeting emotional satisfaction. They understand that maintained secrets are infinitely more powerful than revealed ones. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Silence is my revenge. My discretion is my ultimate weapon. Number 9. The competence. You don't need enemies when your own mouth is working against you. When you feel inadequate, insecure, or fundamentally uncertain, your mouth instinctively attempts to compensate by launching into a performance of confidence, expertise, and importance. This desperate overcompensation is nothing more than psychological theater that fools no one and, in fact, exposes everything. Your frantic need to prove yourself instantly becomes the public proof of your inadequacy. Insecurity breeds verbal desperation. You name drop to appear connected, over-explain to pretend you're knowledgeable, and aggressively interrupt others to stake a claim on importance. Every one of these behaviors screams the precise opposite of what you intend. Your high-effort performance quickly becomes everyone else's entertainment. True competence requires zero advertisement. Real expertise doesn't need exhausting explanation. Genuine confidence never begs for validation. When you constantly perform these qualities through words, you are simply providing irrefutable evidence that you lack them in substance. The most dangerous consequence of the competence theater is that it makes you predictable. People quickly learn the precise buttons that trigger your need for self-validation. They discover how to manipulate you into revealing strategic information, making poor decisions, or acting against your own interests just to feed your need to perform. Machiavelli defined the necessary risk of ambition. Never was anything great achieved without danger. The danger of appearing incompetent is what motivates your performance. But the greater danger is proving your incompetence through that desperate overcompensation. Your fear of seeming weak is precisely what makes you actually weak. The true master lets their verifiable work and results create their reputation, rather than trying to manufacture it through constant, exhausting self-promotion. They are entirely comfortable with others not immediately recognizing their value because they are supremely confident in their ability to demonstrate it through decisive action when it truly matters. Number 10. The promise prison. This final trap is the most insidious because it is built entirely on self-deception and the illusion of control. The promise prison. When you face severe pressure, demands, or expectations you cannot currently meet, your mouth instinctively starts writing checks your present reality simply cannot cash. Promises feel like effortless solutions because they solve immediate, urgent problems without requiring any immediate capability or investment. But here is the lethal truth. Every such promise creates a financial and psychological debt that immediately compounds with interest. Promise-making is the language of the desperate. It's the refuge of those who lack present, tangible solutions. Instead of addressing reality, they create fantasy futures that never materialize. Instead of building actual value, they construct false, towering expectations. The psychology of promises is profoundly seductive because they cost nothing up front. You can promise to change, deliver, or perform without any immediate investment. The inevitable payment comes later, when your credibility is destroyed and trust is shattered. Every unfulfilled promise becomes damning evidence against your reliability. Every broken commitment proves your word is worthless. Every failed guarantee demonstrates that you prioritize temporary relief over your permanent, non-negotiable reputation. Machiavelli, in his critique of reliance on unstable foundations, said, "He who builds on the people builds on the mud." Promises are built on fragile hope, which is as unstable as mud. While people desperately want to believe your commitments because it solves their problem, when those promises fail, both the builder and the foundation collapse together. Strategic operators make fewer promises and aggressively exceed expectations, rather than making grand commitments they cannot sustain. They underpromise and overdeliver, building reputations for reliability rather than mere rhetoric. The ultimate strategic choice. Your mouth has been betraying you your entire life, and you likely did not even recognize the cost. Every casual conversation is a potential minefield where one careless word can obliterate years of careful positioning. Every social interaction is a chess game where your words are either strategic, calculating moves, or fatal blunders. The 10 traps we have explored are not abstract dangers. They are daily occurrences happening around you right now. The difference between victims and victors isn't intelligence. It's the understanding that words have consequences and strategic silence has power. Machiavelli understood what most people never learn. The game of life is won not by those who speak their minds, but by those who control their minds before they speak. Every word you utter either strengthens your strategic position or weakens it. Every silence either protects you or costs you a key opportunity. In a world where everything is recorded, remembered, and potentially weaponized against you, your verbal discipline becomes your most valuable, non-negotiable skill. Your ability to speak strategically rather than emotionally determines whether you'll control your destiny or become a victim of your own voice. The most successful individuals were not the most talkative. They were the most strategic. They spoke only when their words could build and stayed silent when their words could destroy. They understood that in the ultimate game of power, your mouth is either your greatest asset or your most dangerous liability. The choice is yours. Will you continue letting your mouth sabotage your success? Or will you master the ancient art of strategic communication? Will you keep feeding your enemies intelligence through careless conversation? Or will you join the ranks of those who understand that true power whispers while weakness shouts? Your words will either build your empire or become the tools others use to destroy it. The decision you make right now will determine which path your life follows. Remember, in a world full of people who can't control their tongues, the person who masters their mouth masters their destiny. If this revelation opened your eyes to how your own words have been used against you, subscribe now for more insights into the dark psychology of power and manipulation. Your future self will thank you for learning these lessons before it's too late.